first time Jennifer Lopez speaking out to Interview magazine about her divorce from husband Ben Affleck, telling Nikki Glaser her world exploded, saying, quote, "It feels lonely, unfamiliar, scary. It feels sad. It feels desperate."
Broken like me, broken like me.
Like, it's not nobody noticing that everybody else that's left her, oh, she was too this, she was this, she was that. But Diddy said she was perfect. Diddy's the only one that said she was a great girlfriend and how he wish he hadn't messed it up. How was that the only man in her life that had regrets about their relationship, but everybody else ran for the hills?
Jennifer Garner and Ben Affleck spotted together again, fueling speculation about their bond. Garner delivered fresh bagels to Ben's LA home, followed by a casual drive through Brentwood, showing their close connection. After volunteering at a homeless shelter for Thanksgiving with their kids, insiders reveal Garner invited Ben.
Hold on to your popcorn, because the Benifer saga just hit a wild twist. Ben Affleck is sparking major buzz after cozying up with his ex-wife Jennifer Garner. Yep, the two have been spending a lot of time together since Ben's big split with J-Lo. And get this, sources are saying Jen Garner has called it quits with her longtime beau, John Miller, hoping she and Ben can rekindle their flame. But guess who's not here for this reunion? That's right, J-Lo. Word on the street is she's livid over Ben getting all buddy-buddy with Jen Garner. Apparently, she's throwing some serious shade Jen's way, especially after seeing pics of the exes looking super comfortable together. Let's be real, Ben always looked like he'd rather be anywhere else when he was with J-Lo. Even on the red carpet, his smiles were barely there.
Jen, can we get a fashion? Jennifer right here, guys. Don't smile. Jen right here.
But here's where things get juicier. Insiders claim that what really ended things between Ben and J-Lo might be connected to the Diddy scandal. Rumor has it, during the Fed's March raid on Diddy's properties, some tapes involving J-Lo surfaced, and the timing is suspicious. Just weeks later, Ben packed his bags and moved out of the mansion he shared with J-Lo. Oh, and Jennifer Garner might have played a role too. She's always been fiercely protective of her kids and was reportedly worried about how the whole J-Lo Diddy mess could impact them. So, did she give Ben the final push to leave? Now the big question, what's J-Lo going to do if her name comes up in the Diddy case? And is her anger really about Ben cozying up with Jen Garner? Or is it about him moving on and leaving her in the dust? Let's break it all down.
All Jennifer Lopez had to do was marry a white boy, Oscar winner, for people to stop remembering that she had a gun in her pocketbook. She had gunshot residue on her hands the night that Natanya was shot at that club.
This Thanksgiving was the first without Benifer 2.0. And guess what? Ben Affleck doesn't seem to miss it one bit. While J-Lo was busy posting glam but oh-so-solo pics on Instagram, complete with comment limits to avoid the inevitable questions about Ben or the Diddy drama, Ben was having a heartwarming holiday with his ex-wife Jennifer Garner and their kids. The pair volunteered at the Midnight Mission in downtown LA, spreading some Thanksgiving cheer. Now, family events with Ben and Jen Garner aren't exactly shocking, but here's where it gets juicy. Photos show Ben looking very comfortable with his ex. We're talking relaxed smiles, lingering looks, and even a little ear-whispering action. Page 6 couldn't help but notice the cozy vibes, and insiders spilled some tea to People, saying Ben is very happy with life right now. Another source claimed Ben feels blessed to spend Thanksgiving with Jen Garner, the mother of his kids. And honestly, can you blame him? Despite their split, these two seem to have a connection that keeps drawing them back together. The insider spilled more tea, saying Ben and Jen's bond will never fade because of their shared history and the fact that she's the mother of his kids. Fans have even noticed that Jen might be the only woman Ben has ever looked genuinely happy with, even when the paparazzi were swarming. Let's not forget Ben himself once called his divorce from Jen Garner the biggest regret of his life. Back in 2018, during some of his darkest days, Jen was the one driving him to rehab for his third stint in treatment for alcohol addiction. She's been his rock, even when the world wasn't so forgiving. Fast forward to now, Ben's sober and apparently doing some serious soul-searching. Rumors are swirling that he's getting nostalgic about his marriage to Jen Garner, and honestly, who can blame him? Sources say Jen's always had a soft spot for Ben, and despite everything, she's never stopped caring. With all the time they've been spending together lately, fans are wondering if a rekindling could be in the works. And here's where it gets spicy. Ben's recently opened up about why he feels so at ease around Jen. She values a low-key private life just like he does. Contrast that with J-Lo, who lives for the spotlight. In her documentary, Ben even made a jaw-dropping comparison saying J-Lo is addicted to attention, the same way he was addicted to alcohol. According to Ben, there's never enough fame, followers, or success to fill that inner void. According to insiders, one of the major cracks in their relationship was J-Lo's obsession with public attention. Apparently, Ben couldn't stand how she turned their personal life into a never-ending spectacle, focusing more on public image than building a genuine partnership. Ben has gotten really good at biting his tongue, but he wasn't happy with J-Lo's endless need for attention, a source revealed. The Argo actor reportedly found it baffling that J-Lo wanted to share every intimate detail of their life with the world. In a previous interview, Ben confessed, "I've always thought private things are precious because they're secret." And here's the kicker. This isn't the first time media attention sabotaged their relationship. Back in 2004, their first engagement went up in flames thanks to relentless paparazzi coverage. J-Lo herself admitted it was the biggest heartbreak of her life, saying, "I honestly felt like I was going to die. It sent me on an 18-year spiral where I couldn't get it right."
What was the hardest thing for you to be honest with yourself about?
That I was going to get divorced.
Ben Affleck is getting candid about his split from Jennifer Garner. The Oscar-winning actor detailed his alcohol addiction and how it affected his family in a new interview with Diane Sawyer for Good Morning America.
So, when they reunited in 2021, fans thought this was it. Benifer 2.0 was destined to last forever. J-Lo even called Ben the love of my life and claimed they were meant to be. But if J-Lo knew the spotlight caused their first breakup, why would she double down this time? Even making a whole documentary spilling intimate details about their relationship. It seems Ben's earlier comparisons of J-Lo's need for attention to his past struggles with alcohol wasn't far off. Privacy and authenticity were at the core of Ben's frustrations, while J-Lo seemed to thrive in the spotlight. In the end, it's no surprise this high-profile love story didn't survive the media circus. Now, Ben Affleck's friends are apparently telling him to move on from J-Lo and give his relationship with his ex-wife Jennifer Garner another shot. Can you imagine? Talk about a plot twist. But it doesn't stop there. Some new reports claim that Jen Garner's longtime partner, John Miller, has totally thrown in the towel on their relationship after Ben came back into the picture. Why? Well, it's said that John feels intimidated by just how close Jen and Ben still are, and that's definitely not sitting well with him. But here's where it gets even crazier. It's not just John who's upset about this newfound closeness between Ben and Jen. Oh no, J-Lo is fuming. Word on the street is she's seriously ticked off that Ben is out there living his best life, publicly telling everyone how he's finally happy and at peace, and he's doing it with Jen Garner by his side. It's like she's watching her biggest competition scoop up all the attention Ben used to shower on her. Now, remember when the rumors started swirling about J-Lo and Ben having marriage problems last year? Yeah, well, apparently it wasn't just the two of them who were caught in the crossfire. There were whispers that J-Lo was even trying to turn Jen Garner's kids against their mom and mess with Jen's parenting style. Why? Well, it seems J-Lo couldn't stand just how well Ben and Jen still got along. And she didn't like the fact that they were so comfortable together, co-parenting like pros. And here's where it gets even more intense. Rumor has it that J-Lo's team reached out to the tabloids, making some serious digs at Jen Garner's strict parenting and suggesting that Ben and Jen's kids actually preferred spending time with J-Lo over their mom. According to these sources, J-Lo is letting the kids run wild, ignoring Jen's rules, and generally doing whatever she wanted, totally throwing Jen's structured approach out the window. And while Jen Garner tried to give J-Lo the benefit of the doubt, it was clear that J-Lo's behavior was causing major tension between the two. But hold on, it's not all drama and chaos. Let's not forget the real star of this story, Jen Garner, the ultimate mom in this Hollywood mess. While the paparazzi stalked Ben, waiting for him to slip, Jen was doing everything she could to protect her kids' privacy. She was all about shielding her little ones from the relentless spotlight, working hard to keep them safe from the chaos of Hollywood. And unlike some others, Jen didn't want to be the center of attention. She kept her kids out of the press, protecting their privacy at all costs.
Speech to a collection of police officers, the California district attorney, to all kinds of people. She was 5 and she talked about what it was like to be followed and how scary it was and how much she didn't want to go places because she knew it was embarrassing and it was scary and it wasn't worth leaving the house. And And she just kind of talked about how she felt trapped as a 5-year-old and how unfair it is because she has nothing to do with her parents' jobs.
Jen, known for her strong stance on keeping her kids away from the Hollywood circus, was particularly worried that J-Lo's narcissistic tendencies might rub off on her children. Jen has always been adamant about keeping her children grounded, even going as far as to say that social media is more harmful than helpful. She once told her kids, "Show me the articles that prove social media is good for teenagers, and then we'll have the conversation. But go find scientific evidence that shows otherwise, then we'll chat." If you didn't already think she was an amazing mom, this should definitely convince you. Jen's old-school strict parenting style clearly stems from her own upbringing, where she credits her parents' firm rules as the key to her grounded nature, despite the glitz of Hollywood. And when it comes to her kids, she's all about clear boundaries. Her eldest, she says, is even grateful for her tough love approach, showing that sometimes kids really do appreciate structure, no matter how tough it might seem. But here's where it gets complicated. While Jen's parenting philosophy is all about structure and protecting her kids from the chaos of fame, J-Lo's philosophy seems to be more about, well, embracing that chaos. J-Lo has openly admitted that she struggles with setting clear boundaries for her own children with ex-husband Mark Anthony.
It took a long time, and a long time of both of us doing the best we could and trying the hardest we could.
So when Jen Garner's 3 kids started spending more time with J-Lo and Ben, Jen reportedly began to feel like J-Lo was influencing them in ways that didn't align with her strict parenting style. Sources say Jen became increasingly concerned that J-Lo might be trying to turn her kids against her and mess with her values and boundaries she's worked so hard to set. Now, with rumors swirling that Ben and Jen Garner might be reconnecting, it's said that J-Lo's jealousy is at an all-time high. She's reportedly furious that Ben and Jen are getting closer again, and sources claim J-Lo's feeling a lot of emotions, including jealousy, betrayal, and a desire for revenge. But here's the twist. J-Lo isn't just looking for emotional payback. Oh no, she's reportedly eyeing financial revenge and targeting Ben's impressive $150 million fortune. An insider close to J-Lo spilled the beans, saying she's ready to make Ben pay for his past actions. Specifically, the fact that she paid for much of their lavish lifestyle during their short marriage. From private jets and extravagant meals to that $60 million mansion, it's claimed that J-Lo covered a hefty portion of their expenses. Now J-Lo feels like she deserves compensation for all the bills she footed. She's reportedly adding up everything, from hotels and clothes to coffee runs, and she's demanding a full breakdown of who spent what. But the financial payback isn't the only thing driving J-Lo's plans for revenge. Sources say it's the fact that Ben has reconnected with Jen Garner that has her feeling humiliated. She's reportedly out for blood, determined to get back at Ben for reuniting with his ex. But that's not all. Some sources are hinting that J-Lo's drama with Ben might actually be part of a bigger PR strategy, one to distract from a much darker issue involving her ex, Diddy. Back in March, just weeks before J-Lo and Ben separated, Natanya Rubin, the woman Diddy shot in the face back in 1999 during that notorious nightclub shooting in New York, broke her silence and made some explosive claims. She said her life was in danger for speaking out about J-Lo and Diddy's alleged involvement in the shooting.
Yeah, and you have said since really right after the shooting that it was P. Diddy who shot you. I mean, I think you even said it to the doctor that night, right?
I said it immediately. I literally watched them pull out the guns. I've had a clear point of view. I mean, for God's sake, I got shot in my nose. I was facing them directly. I watched everything occur and have described it, vehemently to all parties involved. I think in our society, we have respectability politics. There are people who want to be adjacent to power or celebrity or money, and there's a hierarchy of respectability.
She argued that Diddy's associate, particularly J-Lo, should have been charged with attempted murder and reckless endangerment, just like Jamal Shine Barrow, who was involved in the incident. Natanya, who was shot in the face that night, said that Combs never truly faced accountability for his actions.
We all knew he was responsible. A lot of people were afraid for their safety, justifiably so. I mean, the history that has occurred in the last 25 years proves that they were justified in being afraid, but I wasn't afraid. I wasn't afraid because I still bear I have 9 bullet fragments remaining in my face. So when I saw that count 128, that's actually count 128 of the lawsuit. When I saw that on a podcast that was analyzing all of the counts, I knew I had to speak. I had no intention of going viral. I was just getting it out of me.
Despite the danger she's exposing herself to, Natanya emphasized that she's not suicidal. She's determined to make sure her voice is heard and her side of the story is known. She spoke about the peril she faces for coming forward, but made it clear she's grateful for the second chance at life and intends to live out her life for her children. Yet, while J-Lo has denied any involvement, Natanya isn't convinced. She accused J-Lo of being Diddy's gun mule and hinted that she could face consequences if the case is ever reopened. Natanya even went as far as to say that J-Lo's charges were dropped shortly after the shooting and suggested she may have covered for Diddy and let Shine take the fall. And just when we thought the drama couldn't get any more intense, Suge Knight, yes, that Suge Knight, jumped into the conversation. On his Collect Calls podcast, Suge made some wild claims about what the feds found during the raids on Diddy's mansions in March. He alleged that the feds uncovered a series of tapes showing J-Lo with Diddy, and he didn't stop there. Suge also dragged J-Lo into the whole 1999 nightclub shooting, suggesting she covered for Diddy back then.
They go raid Puffy's house, and they get all these videos of J-Lo doing this and J-Lo doing that. And they know the fact that J-Lo lied and said that the gun was Shine's or whatever. That man just prison restored his life, and she knew it was Puffy.
But wait, there's more. Suge added that the feds might have tipped off Ben Affleck about the tapes before they could be exposed in court.
The FBI gave respect, a courtesy call of Ben Affleck. It's a white man who got respect in the white world. I'm quite sure they said, we want to show you some things. It's about your wife. When he see this that her and Puffy were doing and who they were doing it with, I'm quite sure they gave him those tapes. And I'm quite sure.
Now, Suge thinks the feds could have shown Ben those tapes that might reveal more about J-Lo's past with Diddy and their questionable actions. According to Suge, Ben probably got an eyeful, and he's not likely to look at J-Lo the same way again. In fact, he suggested that Ben's final decision to divorce her might have been influenced by this explosive information. Ben's the kind of guy who's not about drama, and he has his own career and personal life to focus on. If these tapes are as damaging as people think, it could explain why Ben chose to step away from the marriage before any of it hit the courtroom. Now, there are rumors swirling that J-Lo's connection with Diddy didn't stop with just that infamous shooting. If you take a closer look, she's the only ex of Diddy's who didn't seem to face the same kind of mistreatment that other women like Cassie, Kim Porter, and Misa Hilton allegedly endured at his hands. And apparently, that's because J-Lo was able to perfectly align with Diddy's behind-the-scenes activities, with some whispers even suggesting that she may have helped him cover up some seriously dark dealings, including human teaking. Recently, even more shocking rumors have emerged, claiming that Diddy attempted to use Jennifer to get involved with other artists in some pretty wild activities. One of those artists being Ja Rule. This claim gained some traction after Diddy's ex-bodyguard Gene Deal spilled the tea, revealing that Diddy has a history of using underhanded tactics to get men to sleep with him.
Convince this guy, or put him in a situation with other girls so he could do whatever he wanted to do with them.
Now, with all that being said, it's becoming clear that J-Lo knew far more than she ever let on, and she's been covering for Diddy for decades. The web of secrets surrounding their relationship is more tangled than anyone could have imagined. Recent revelations about Diddy's alleged activities have raised questions, not just about his past, but about Jennifer's involvement in it all. In what seems like a calculated move, J-Lo is apparently planning to file a lawsuit against Diddy, hinting at a strategy to protect her public image, as scrutiny around their past continues to rise. This legal action appears to be a direct response to being pulled into Diddy's recent controversies, including the infamous 1999 nightclub shooting incident. To improve her reputation, J-Lo recently dropped a whopping $20 million into a film project designed to make her seem more relatable and likable. But things didn't go as planned. In one scene, she portrays a rags-to-riches story, showing herself as a young girl running through the neighborhood with messy hair. The problem? Classmates revealed she actually attended an exclusive all-girls private Christian school that cost $122,000 in tuition. Definitely not the humble beginnings she tried to sell. As if that wasn't enough, leaked tapes of intimate conversations between J-Lo and Diddy have surfaced, fueling even more gossip and intrigue about their past relationship. But here's the twist. New reports are saying Jennifer Garner gave Ben Affleck an ultimatum. If he wanted to make things work with her again, he had to completely cut ties with J-Lo, especially before the Diddy case hits the courtroom and drags them all into negative headlines that could affect their kids. Let's be honest, Ben probably wasn't thrilled with J-Lo in the first place. The whole situation was likely a ticking time bomb, and the Diddy scandal might have just been the final nail in the coffin. So here's the big question. Do you think Ben dumped J-Lo before the messy details about her involvement in Diddy's drama were exposed? Or do you think the Diddy case is the thing that finally pushed him to break up with her? Do you think something even bigger is coming out about J-Lo when the case goes to court? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to stick around for our next video.